Samer Sinijlawi is a Palestinian political activist. Samer is the only high-profile Palestinian politician who visited the Gaza envelope after the 7th of October and condemned Hamas in front of cameras. Samer visited the Shiva, the mourning period of the Bibas family who was murdered in Samaria, and asked Yarden Bibas for a pardon. Samer was in Israeli jail at the age of 15 and for 5 years, and was later elected after his release to be the head of the Fatah youth. He was elected as the head of the international and Israeli relations on the Fatah Supreme Committee, was in charge of relations between Fatah and major political parties in Europe, in the Arab world, as well as in Israel. He is the voice of opposition to Mahmoud Abbas, calls for Palestinian reforms and democracy, and believes in Israeli-Palestinian dialogue and coexistence, which is, it's very fun to have you. Before we even get to anything else, Samer, tell me what you're seeing. What is the big picture right now? How do you see the situation? Gaza, Iran, Arabs in Judea and Samaria, Arabs in Israel. Give me your perspective for a second.
Well, the last 2.5 years were very painful to everybody, Rabbi. And there was a lot of pain, a lot of suffer. There was a lot of ugly things that were happening on both sides of the fence. But let me tell you something, because I'm part of the Palestinian people, I know very much Palestinians, and I have been 38 years engaged in dialogue with the Israelis. And I can claim that I know, I understand the Israelis very well. I understand the need and necessity for security. I understand also their share of the pain. And let me tell you something. I discovered, Rabbi, that the whole world, including us towards each other, we try to judge ourselves and the other side, see the other side and see ourselves from a very surface way. And on a surface level, there is a dark black image. Okay, this conflict hasn't been a very nice one to anybody. There is a lot of hard feelings. There is a lot of incitement, hatred. It's there. You can see it. You can see it in a very clear way. But if somebody is able to dive a little bit at a certain depth, we can discover a reservoir of joint humanity, a common humanity that brings everybody who is living here between the river to the sea. Everybody is human being. Nobody can claim that anybody, the other side collectively, is not human. So if we are able to build our relation and connect on that level of depth, we will be able to be in a better place. The majority now of people are confused. There is mistrust. The term that there is no partner on the other side. It's true. That's how both sides feel to each other. And you know, this term of partner is not only a political need, it is definitely a security requirement. There should be a partner on the other side. And that partner will be the safety valve for security, for freedom, for everything that lacks everybody. This conflict, in a way or another, it's two words. At one side, it is security. At the other side, it's freedom.
It's also
And let me
land.
tell
It's also land, and it's also God, right? Like for me, when I hear what you're saying, I say to myself, it's not that there's really another side. There's two different national goals, and for me, for me being a so-called settler or a resettler, and I'm proud of that. It's really not so complex. I say the land belongs to the Jewish people, to Israel. We have other nations living amongst us. They have personal rights, certainly, but maybe not national rights. And so I want to see Arabs that love Israel, that want to live in this land, so-called Palestinians, live a good life, live with upward mobility. I give residency to Arabs that call themselves Palestinians, as long as that they're follow the law, are willing to be governed by the Jewish state Israel and are happy with their identity as Arabs, as so-called Palestinians, as Muslims, as long as they accept that there's a Jewish state and that's the state that they live in, and that they're willing to use the blessings of the Jewish state for upward mobility. And what I just said, all that I said now, is something that I hear all the time that Arabs say to me. That's exactly what we're willing to take. We're willing to take. I hear in Hebron, I hear it all the time. Other Arabs say, no, we're not willing to do that, but we are willing to sell. And just this week, we had 5 big Arab houses be sold to Jews in Hebron legally. There was no violence. There's no anything. Not now. Jews are living amongst Arabs in a big Arab neighborhood, but there's so far no problems, and we don't expect any problems. So we have a solution for the other side. We just, from my perspective, we just have to be assertive, aggressive, and then we'll have many Arabs who are going to thank us for the opportunity to live in a very successful state called Israel, and take away from them the Palestinian Authority, the PA. So to me, the solution is not so complex. And the other side has been repressed a lot, the decent other side, and we have to let those decent people have the safety and security to speak and to speak their willingness to live, amongst Jews in the state of Israel.
This could be a valid opinion within the Israeli society, but I don't think it represents the majority of Israelis for the simple fact: what prevented Israel, including the current full right wing, Yamin Male Male, to do annexation? Okay, so
They're
it
not
doesn't
ready
seem
yet,
that.
but they're moving towards that. They're not
I
ready.
don't know I don't know what is ready. I mean, this is a
You
decision
do
that
know what
can
is
take
ready.
it can take 5 minutes in the cabinet. I mean, this decision
No,
that needs to
but
be.
the country's not ready yet because they're not ready with infrastructure for Arabs and a million other things. You know that the security cabinet just last week made huge decisions about seeing having an easier time to purchase from Arabs in Judea and Samaria, to be able to see the ledgers and full Jewish control where Jews are found, and they walk back part of the Oslo Accord. So you do know the government is moving towards
I
that.
trust Israelis and Israeli politics much better than me, and you can give
No,
the
no,
better
you know it
assessment.
better than me. You know it better than me. I know you know it better than me. Don't be tricky.
Well,
I know you
I
understand
want
it
to
better
tell
than me.
you something. I have lots of friends in the left, in the center, in the right, in the far right. You are one of them. I'm very proud to say that you are a friend if you accept my friendship.
I do.
And I know you do. But Rabbi, it's not as easy as it looks. Okay, I mean, but let us say that theoretically you're correct that Israel is so determined. The Israel I know, 70% of them currently oppose a political settlement that based on the two-state solution out of security concerns, not really out of ideology. Ideology is there, but maybe it's 10 to 15% of the Israeli society. But yet, if that's true, if your confidence is accurate that Israel knows what it wants to do with the Palestinians and that the option is annexation, please do it. What are you waiting for? I
I'm
have
working
been
on it.
hearing this. I have been hearing this. It is a slogan on the wall, Rabbi. Nobody really put content to it. Nobody really understands its consequences.
I just told you that the security cabinet made decisions that basically start to roll back the Y Accords and the Hebron Accords. You're right; it's a process. It's taking time, but I think the Arabs in at least where I live, they see it happening. They see it happen. They see the army
Well,
supporting the
they waited.
settlements, the little
If
farms.
they
They
were
see all that.
serious, Rabbi, if they were serious, if I was one of the member of that cabinet, I would have done it in January 23, directly
I don't.
after it.
What
You
are you
don't
saying?
doing an,
Are you
you
saying
don't
that the
do it
Jews
in an
are
election
slow?
campaign period. Okay, so this is I see this as more an
Samer,
election
Samer,
campaign more than
Samer,
reality. Anyhow,
the Jews being slow and rolling back a bad policy is I can't I have to agree with you. What can I say? Of course I agree with you. But that doesn't
anyhow,
mean.
annexation. And I want to ask you some question about annexation. Now look at me. I
Wait a
am your
minute.
dream. I am your dream.
Yeah,
I am an ex-Palestinian. You know? I'm from East Jerusalem. I have the blue ID. I don't have citizenship. I have the blue ID. I have a car with a yellow plate, just like your car. I can drive from Tel Aviv to Kiryat Arba. I can visit you in Hebron, and I can go for a dinner in Tel Aviv. Do you want another 5 million Palestinians to be exactly like me? This is my dream. It's your nightmare. Go ahead, please do it. What are you waiting for?
No, Ivanti, I don't understand. What happened? Where was the logical?
Annex-
I missed the logical point there. Wait, I missed the logical point. Where was the nightmare
Annexation.
moment?
The nightmare is that you will have another 5 million Palestinians with
Why is
residency right.
where's the nightmare?
Well, I guess, you know, do you want your Hebron neighbors to start coming to the Miyuhadet clinic in Kiryat Arba? Do you want 50% of El Al flight to be Palestinians on board?
Samer,
Rabbi, I will tell you
Samer,
a small story. I will tell you
Samer,
a small story.
Samer,
I,
you said it was you. You pointed to yourself. You explained to me that you're an Arab with a resident, that you have freedom of travel. You look like a successful person. You come off great on camera. You speak well. You look like you're doing well in life. Just the image that you give off. Then you tell me that five more million people like me is your nightmare. Did
your
you
nightmare,
did you
your
miss?
nightmare,
Yeah. Did you say
your
that's my
nightmare,
nightmare?
my
How is it?
dream, my dream. I
How is
would
it?
like to
How
see,
is it that
I would,
5,000, 5 million more Arabs like you who seem decent and have upward mobility
I'll
living
tell
as
you,
residents in my
I'll
country?
tell you
How
why,
is that a
because
nightmare? You know
I'll
what?
tell you why,
I'll tell you what
because
you meant. I'll tell you what you meant. I'll help you. Okay. What you meant is that you
no,
thought
I
that you're
can explain
talking.
myself, but I want you to start this explanation and then I'll follow up, please.
I was gonna, of course, let you say it, but I meant to say that what you think when you speak to me is that you're talking to a Tel Aviv a friend, like a Tel Aviv lefty. You think that I think that 5 million, let's say, it'll probably be less because a lot will leave, but let's say some number of Arab residents in my land is my nightmare. I don't feel that way. I never felt.
Well,
It's confusing to me.
I have
Arabs.
the impression, I may be wrong, Rabbi, that most the Israelis would like to live in a Jewish democratic. So a Jewish democratic state needs to have a
This is
majority of Jews. So I
come on,
can't say
that's so old
ha-
talking points. That's like talking points from 20 years ago, man.
so
Nobody talks like that anymore.
enlighten me. How do you see the future?
Uh,
If you achieve annexation now, enlighten me.
so funny to
Give
me.
me
It's so funny to me. It's just
a,
like every other Arab country. It's like
I admit, Rabbi, I have lack of imagination. Enlighten me. Drive me through the state of residents, inhabitants, citizens, all together in a one state reality that have annexation of the whole land, including the inhabitants. Drive me
first
through
thing,
this.
let me ask you this. What the hell is the difference? We already have them as residents or something else. They're already under our care one way or the other. I mean, this Palestinian Authority, you perfectly well know that the money and even the blue residency card for Arabs in so-called PA is all comes printed in Israel. We know it's the same thing. What the hell is the difference? Let there be a Maccabi, a health clinic in Ramallah or in El Khalil. You think there's a difference? There's no difference, except the difference is Israel will be strong, will be sovereign. So what? What's the problem? Oh, you think I'm afraid of Arabs sitting next to me in the airplane? Bro, I'm here in Judea and Samaria. I shop with Arabs. I drive with Arabs. They're in my mechanic shop. They're giving me the medicine in Gush Etzion in the pharmacies. Come on. Who do you think you're talking to here? A Tel Aviv Jew. We live with Arabs day in and day out. Come on. You're telling me that the decent Arabs that have residency, I should be afraid of them. Come on. You're talking to like lefty Jews.
Well,
I'm not like that around here. Okay, we're not. We
well,
know Arabs. They're our cousins.
okay. I may have not included you in this, but the majority of Israelis are sensitive to this issue. I'll tell you a small
Well, you're
story,
on my
Rabbi.
show
I,
today.
I I was on El Al flight coming back from a vacation with the family, and
Where
I'm a
from?
father of nine kids.
Where's your
I,
vacation?
I was in Larnaca coming back to Tel Aviv. It was a short flight. I
Nine
have
kids?
nine kids, so I am a Palestinian Haredi in the scale of number of family. So my wife asked my 12 years old son, Yusuf, to go and bring some hot water from the flight attendants to arrange the formula for Omar, who is 2 years old. Yusuf went. Yusuf does not speak Hebrew. He went, and then he came back with the flight attendants who was very angry. And he said, who is the father? He was shouting, and he said, I am the father. What's wrong? He said, you need to educate your son. As I asked my son, what has happened? He said, he asked me in Hebrew. I said, I don't speak Hebrew. He told me, are you American? I answered him in English. I told him, no, I am Palestinian. And he got angry. Okay. He got angry. And when my son said again Palestinian, the flight attendant got angry again. And he said, this is my second warning. You cannot be on El Al and claim to be Palestinian. And I am a Palestinian that has I am a platinum member in El Al. And guys, I am loyal. I like El Al. I fly El Al. I take my family in El Al. I have the highest status of El Al. But El Al can be an Israeli airline that flies American, Germans, Emiratis, also Palestinians. But
Okay.
I know that this word also it was very heavy for you to digest. You said he claims to be a Palestinian, an Arab who
I don't
claims to
like
be.
that. It's true because I don't like that word for a very simple reason. Because when I see Palestine on a cup that's sold in the old city, it has the whole map of Israel and says Palestine. So I don't like Palestine because Palestine
Well,
tries to
it
erase
has.
Israel.
You can find cups in Tel Aviv that have the whole map and say Israel. I mean,
I
we
like those
both.
cups.
Okay, so you see,
I'm against Palestine. No, I'm not here to be equal. I am against
Rabbi.
Palestine. I'm against Palestine trying to take over my land. I'm admitting it. I'm telling you right now. If you give me a cup that says Israel, I'm happy. You give me a cup that says Palestine, I'm like, these people are my enemies. They want to destroy me. Happens to be that you're a cool
Well,
guy and
it
you're
should
top
be both.
platinum on LL. No, I don't think it should be both at all. I want to erase the concept of Palestine and have it take over my land. I absolutely reject it. And I think that Palestine is the enemy of Israel and has been globally, that from the river to the sea, they want to erase Israel. So I want to erase the thing that wants to erase me. I'm not denying it for
Well,
once.
I don't think that anyone really intend to drive the other side to the sea. And let me tell
No,
you something.
nobody
This,
intends to drive the other
this.
side into the sea. You're right. It's just they don't even mean it. That's such the classic like Arab type of thing. No, the guys that threw rocks at you are from a different village and they came up and it's small rocks. It's not. Come on, do me a favor. Hamas doesn't intend to drive us into the sea. Come on, come on,
Well,
come
yeah,
on.
maybe Hamas, but Hamas is not the Palestinians.
Hamas is
And
part
Rabbi,
of the Palestinians.
let me a little bit speak about the history and about religious. You started with I think very nice statements at the beginning on land, on God, on history, on religion. Let me share with you how I see the religious relation between both of us. And I will say it very honestly. You know, we are today in Ramadan. I have been fasting. The way we Muslims,
And I wanted to say to you Ramadan Kareem, by the way, or Ramadan
thank you,
Mubarak.
thank you, Rabbi. The way we fast, Muslims, is exactly the way Jews fast. We stop eating and drinking at early morning until sunset. I noticed also from my several visits to synagogues that before entering to the prayer room, there is a washroom. It's exactly what we have in our mosques. There is the washroom where we both wash our hands before we enter to the prayer. We pray 3 times at least, identically at the same timing. We pray two more, but three of our prayers, the three Jewish prayers, and among the five Muslim prayers, three of them are exactly on the same timing of Jewish prayers. There is a lot of common ground between religions. We have inherited all the morality of the Jewish religion. Now, there are some people who
Wait,
are
wait, wait. You
politicizing Islam
one second.
in an ugly way.
You forgot to say also that Arab who self-identifies Palestinians have a very close DNA to the Jews. That our
Yeah.
languages are similar. We have a very close language system, and so therefore, uh, Jews and Arabs are related. That's one of the reasons why it's so upsetting sometimes when you see that they call Jewish presence in the land of Israel and occupation, and that somehow we're foreign, when they know perfectly well that we are cousins, that we're from the same place, that we're from the same region, that we speak similar language, similar DNA. So the lie of occupation is an amazing lie, as though we don't belong here, as though we're white, colonialist, apartheidist. Now you're telling us that we have a lot of similarity. That's because we're from the same region, from the same father, Abraham. We trace our lineage to Abraham directly. But somehow in the Arab and Muslim world, it's been kind of like erased that we're the children of Abraham, that we're
Well,
from
this is something that should be corrected. I think there is some slight correction that should happen to the two narratives. Now the two narratives deny the links of the other side to the land. I think we as Palestinians should start by correcting our narrative. We should recognize the historical links of Jews to this land because it is a fact. It is even documented most powerfully in our holy book, in the Quran, in the biggest chapter, Surah Al-Baqarah. We can have exactly the same stories of Abraham Avenu, our father Abraham and Joseph and Moses, and the same stories you find in the Torah, you find in the Quran. So there is no reason for us to deny this history. Yes, you belong here. But also there is no reason to ignore the fact that Jews have never been alone in this. There was always others. And these others are us.
I
There
don't
is
deny that
a,
there's
a-
others.
there is there
I
is
just deny that
a
there's
long
national rights. I don't
there
deny
is
that
a
there are others.
long
I just don't think there was
well
ever a Palestine, and therefore I think that Arabs who identify as Arabs, Muslims, Palestinians, whatever that is, they should live within Israel, just like we live within Arab countries. Not a problem.
well well
I don't want to cut up my land and
Rabbi
make it
Rabbi
Palestine. It failed.
3,500 years mostly were years of coexistence between Jews and Islam. The
I
last
like.
100 years went wrong. Only the last 100 years went
Wait.
wrong.
Islam is only 1,500 years old. Let's 1,400 years. Let's not exaggerate. Okay, you mean
I said
maybe low.
thousands.
I'm saying that it's only 1,400 years old, Islam, which is okay, which is a
Okay,
long time.
okay.
But I'm just saying let's not exaggerate. The 3,000 years it hasn't been Muslims, maybe Arabs or local peoples that were related, maybe children of Abraham. But Islam is
Yeah.
is the youngest of the three great Abrahamic religions. In
Well,
any
it's
case,
the generations that have been occupying. But let me tell you something, Rabbi. If you go to demographical fact, now let's leave a little bit the religious and historical aspects. If you go to the demographical fact, there are 7 million Jews between the river and the sea, and there are 7 million non-Jews on the same land.
I think that's an
Now,
exaggeration, but I think, I have to say it my way. I think that there are probably a little bit less than 2 million Arabs in Judea and Samaria, the so-called West Bank, about 2 million Arabs living in Israel, regular, and who knows, but less than 2 million Arabs living in Gaza. So approximately, let's say 6 million, maybe 5 million Arabs who can identify as Palestinians, and 7 million Jews. That's what I think is between the river and
the
the sea.
most recent statistics shows 7,200,000. Anyway, uh, you go to the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, using the Jewish term. There are currently like 500,000 Jews living in Judea and Samaria and the West Bank, despite the right-wing government that has invested billions of shekels in the last 3 years, including 7 billion in roads only. And you can also know a lot of measures that has been taken by. There is a negative migration. Jews who are leaving the West Bank are
No, they
more
are
than
not.
those.
No, they are
Well,
not. What are you talking about?
I have the statistics.
Listen, the
There
word
is
Palestinian statistics is usually an oxymoron.
no. It's a
We don't.
very Jewish, very Israeli statistics.
No,
It's the
there is no statistic.
there is.
There is no credible statistic that says that Jews are leaving Judea and Samaria. Jews are moving into Judea and Samaria. I know, Samer. I am a city councilman in this town here in Judea. We are exploding. Can't build fast enough around here. Every house that we build costs 3 million shekel and it's filled in a second. Okay, we have farms, we've got caravans, we've got people moving in. We buy Arab houses, they're moving in. Do me a favor. There are no And not only that, Samer, when I was born, there were 3 million Jews in the land of Israel. Today, there are 7. You guys can keep rolling up these dreams, these statistics, and
No, I
making
have no. I don't play.
not
I
true.
don't think numbers really matter. It's principles more. So I'm
That's
very
right.
happy to see
And,
more
and the,
Jews coming and settling here. And I mean, even, let me tell you something, Rabbi. The way I see the two-step solution, which I
don't
believe it's the
don't be
only.
a Tucker Carlson, okay? Don't be giving us weird facts and then later apologizing. There's no
I can share
no.
you. I
You
can
can
share
share
with
all
you. I
you
can share
want.
with you.
You can share all you want.
I
There's
can,
no negative migration. I'm telling my audience what Samer said is not true. There is no negative migration from Judea and Samaria of Jews. That's just factually not true. We are moving in constantly and we're building it up. You can send me anything you want. I see it. I see it.
I can correct my information. I will share with you the link of these statistics. I'll be happy to receive from you a more accurate link, and then I will update. But I will
Yes.
share with you. It's a Jewish Israeli source that has shows this. Actually, they updated on a weekly basis, so you can see where do they. You have some negative migration. Where okay, in some towns they come more, in other towns they leave more.
Samer, let's go on. Let's not waste time of my audience. There is no
I want to
negative
tell
migration.
you I want to tell you about the way I see a smart two-state solution, a two-state solution that guarantees Israelis and the Jewish people a Jewish democratic state, which I think the majority of Israelis would like to have, and also guarantees the Palestinians their statehood, where I am totally against of any Jews to be forced to leave. It's not like evacuating Sinai. If you, Rabbi, would like to stay in Hebron as an Israeli citizen, as a Jewish Israeli citizen who is resident in the state of Palestine, where the state of Palestine will be 100% responsible on your security and you respect its laws, nobody should push any Jews away.
What a
You, you,
beautiful thought. What a beautiful thought. And I'm giving you the same offer. You want to be a resident of the state of Israel, and the state of Israel will be in charge of your security. You could be a resident, and no Arabs should have to leave if they are
okay,
law abiding. Exactly like you said.
I accept, but I have understood and respected your need to be a citizen of at least one state, and I said you are an Israeli citizen. I want to be a resident of the state of Israel, but
You
under
will be,
which residency? What will be my residency?
you'll
What
be a
will be my
resident of
passport?
Israel.
Do you want
Oh,
me to continue my life and my kids without
yes.
any kind of residency, at least in one state?
You will
What
have a
is the state
residency in
that
the
I
state
should
of
belong
Israel.
to?
Residency in the
What?
state of Israel. Residency in the
And
state of Israel.
citizenship? And citizenship?
No
I want
citizenship.
to
You
be
want
citizen.
to
How come?
so have a
Rabbi, for God's sake.
so have a Jordanian
We
citizenship.
are
Have
in
a
the 21st century, Rabbi.
Yes,
You
yes, yes.
cannot
And we're
say
also
that
in the
some
Middle East.
people,
Hey, can I ask you a question? Are
everybody
the
on the service
majority,
of this
excuse me, are the
world,
majority of people that live in Qatar, are they citizens? Majority of people that live in Saudi
they are
Arabia, are
citizens
they?
of a certain state. Yes. Yeah.
Come
They
on,
come from
come on.
India. They are citizens of India, residents of Qatar. They
Okay,
come
see,
from Pakistan. They are
see,
Pakistani. What
okay,
am I to you if
you
I
want,
want to be a resident of
want
the state of Israel?
you want a
Under
citizenship?
what
No problem.
citizenship?
No
Which
problem.
passport?
No, why is
Which
that a
passport?
problem? We'll get you Jordanian, we'll get you Syrian, we'll get you Saudi, we'll get you.
None of them will consider us. You haven't been able to convince one state to have immigrants from Gaza, Rabbi. Let's be realistic. Let's go to
I
politique
know,
real.
I know that you Arabs hate one another so badly that you can't even give your own people citizenship, even though they're living in a different
It's
country.
not the same people. Jordanians are Jordanians, Lebanese are Lebanese, Syrians are Syrians, Israelis are Israelis,
Samer,
and Palestinians are
Samer,
Palestinians.
Samer, you're not talking to a Tel Aviv lefty, okay? I know what Jordanians are, and I know they're the exact same people. I've been to Jordan. I know the crossing. I know that it's all a big Palestinian crossing. Do me a favor, keep the silly stuff for the lefties in Tel Aviv. I know what Jordan is. It's a totally fake country, which we totally know is the other Palestine. Taseli Tova, do me a favor. And so we will get your Jordanian citizenship that you so want, although we all know what Arab citizenship is in any Arab country. It means nothing, right? An Israeli residency is 10 times better than a Jordanian citizenship, and you know it. So I say, get
Okay, then
Israeli
Rabbi,
residency.
bring the Jordanian to the table. Let them say we grant them citizenship. I will accept your residency. Okay,
You
let's start
know,
with this. Bring the Jordanians to the table to
I'll tell
say
you what
that we,
I'll tell you what
they
I'll
are
do.
accepting to provide
I'll
citizenship.
I'll go to the so-called king, okay? I'll go to King
Yeah.
Abdullah and his wife Rania, right? And I'll go over there and I'll say to them like this. Right now, we provide you water and electricity and security. We all know that without Israeli security, without Israeli water, without Israeli electricity, Jordan is dead. So how about we'll do this? You will grant our Arabs citizenship so Samer can feel that he has citizenship, and we will continue to provide you with all the things that make your country go. If not, if you can't help us with our problem and give these decent Arabs like Samer a citizenship so that we can give them residency and the rest will be under out, we will take care of them. Okay, then you will not have our water, electricity, security, and you'll go the way of the dodo, which is the natural thing that Jordan can do is go the way of the Nabateans and evaporate into the desert. So I say no problem. We'll have a talk with the Jordanians. I know how to talk with them. I can speak their language in that sense, and you will have both a Jordanian citizenship and Israeli residency as long as you can. As long as you're,
Well,
and don't
well,
worry,
Rabbi,
you'll fly on El
Rabbi,
Al without a problem. Well, you'll fly.
I understand really that you know you need to fight for a cause you believe in, and I respect this. But also the fact that there are 7 million Palestinians who feel Palestinian, who give themselves this kind of identity, should be respected. I mean, who told you that I feel Jordanian? Who told you that I feel Egyptian? I feel Palestinian, Rabbi. And
if if
somebody needs to
if
acknowledge that.
Palestinian means like being a Druze, where you have a town that has an Arab culture, let's call it for the sake of argument, we'll call it a Palestinian culture and all that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem with that. I only have a problem if you say I want a different state in your land. You want a different state in my land? Now we got a war. Now we got a problem. Now we have to have a
Well,
fight.
we need to continue such a deep dialogue in a way that we try our best to fulfill the needs of everybody in this land, both people in this land. Now, there could be other scenarios that we can come to. I mean, if it is not the two-state, then maybe it's something else, but it needs to acknowledge the needs of the Palestinians to have their own national pride. And we need to be sure that Jews are respected with their heritage, with their state, with their Jewish democratic state, a state that is fully integrated in the Middle East, that we see ourselves as ally or together against the threat that you have your previous guest talking about. It's Iran. Iran is the challenge for all of us. They don't like the Sunnis. They don't like the Jews. They are a threat to everybody. And they are existential threat to maybe the whole stability of the Middle East. So we need to focus on this. And I think the region understand this strategic threat. The Saudis have this feeling with the Israelis that there is a threat in that regime in Tehran. The Emiratis. Look about the Abraham Accords, especially during the war, Rabbi. I am, as a Palestinian, I was really impressed how the Abrahamic agreements stayed hold all the time during the war, where the Emiratis at the peak of the war quadrupled their flights to Tel Aviv from Abu Dhabi and Dubai, when all the American airlines and the European airlines, the usual allies of Israel, stopped flying. The Emiratis quadrupled their flight.
That's
So
right.
in a way or another, the endorsement of the Jewish people of Israel as a state, you, Rabbi, with what you represent, where you live now, can be strongly through the region that has the willingness to do this integration. It's just we need to see how can the Palestinian issue be integrated in the discussions and the concerns and the arrangements in a very responsible way. We might find a way that fulfills everything you want and provide me with the minimum that I need. But we need to start this discussion in a very open-minded and open heart. We need to earn the respect and the trust of each other, the way me and you are earning the trust and the respect of each other. Collectively, we need to have that momentum. And I'm sure that we are smart enough to find a way. It's just we need to have political will and determination to find that way.
Samer Sinijlawi, I want to first thing wish you a happy Ramadan, and thank you very much for coming on the show. And we have, I'm going to have you on again, inshallah, if you let me. I will have you on again to talk about Gaza, Raza, which we did not really speak about today, and we have more to talk about what's going on there. We talked philosophically, but I want to talk to you also, as we say in Hebrew, brass tacks, tachlis, what's going down on the ground over there. But I'm very glad that the audience got a chance to hear from you. You are a high-profile Palestinian politician who visited the Gaza envelope, condemned Hamas. You are a Palestinian political activist, and today you're the voice of opposition to President Abbas and call for Palestinian reforms, and I appreciate you coming on. We have a lot we can agree on. We have a lot we disagree on, but of course, people can see very clearly why you are one of the big representatives of Palestinianism, because of how erudite and well-spoken you are. I appreciate your time on our program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Rabbi, for the invitation. I'll be happy to come again. Thanks.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Anyway, God bless you folks for sticking with us and checking out, listening to important conversations. So we're talking about a lot of very important stuff. Despite our differences of opinion, I could finally hear a civilized conversation. That's right. That's what you have here at Yishai Fleischer TV. And I do urge you and ask you to like, subscribe, comment. I want you to like, subscribe, and comment. Please do it right now. It has something to do with the mighty algorithm. Mighty algorithm. So like, subscribe, and comment right now. And if you love this show, support our show, and it will be tremendously appreciated. Would make a big difference in the continuing effort to broadcast the truth and the light of Israel to you from here, the heartland of the Holy Land, Judea and Samaria and Jerusalem. God bless you folks wherever you are. Lots of love, lots of blessings from the land of blessings, from the heartland of the Holy Land, and shalom.